I must first welcome you, you see the breath, you see the snow, to the first day of spring. First day of spring. Global warming is going to kill us all! All right, so now here on YouTube, you got everybody and their brother's uncle. Everybody and their brother's uncle? Well, your brother's uncle is your uncle too. It's the same damn guy. That would be your mother. And she too is on YouTube. How do we discern between real information and real bad misinformation? Because there's plenty of that out here. Right? I would say the answer is really very simple. History. If we're going to look at history, it can give us guidance on things like why President Trump treats the media the way he does, for example. Going after First Amendment, is he? Yeah, not so much. Look at the history of the way media behaves out here. See, the media collectively is more powerful than any other entity on this earth, the fourth estate. One quick example that I'll give you right off the top of my head. If Benghazi, Libya, had happened on September 11th, 2004, George Bush wouldn't have had a shot at re-election. George Bush is sleeping, and they come in and they wake him up, and he's walked to the Situation Room and watches live, real time, as a U.S. ambassador is being beaten to death. That's a United States ambassador being tortured to death, beaten to a pulp, and goes, ugh, back to bed. Now that's what President Obama did. The next morning, off to some fundraiser in Sin City. That's him treating the media like a cheap date. Now what are they gonna do? Now imagine the optics being done like that with George Bush. Imagine that. It would have been President John Kerry. Of course. That's all they would have been talking about. Benghazi, 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 Benghazi. Day in, day out, right up to Election Day. The Republican American president, they would have attacked and ushered in the Democrat in a snap. The Democrat president, they cover it up. Look at Hurricane Katrina. They all looked at George Bush. Well, guess what? It was up to the governor to allow or disallow the feds in. They know that. It's right in the U.S. Constitution that Governor Kathleen Blanco delayed for 3 full days, that the Democrat governor of Louisiana wouldn't let the feds in. They knew that FEMA was right there at 2 days ahead of time, as has been their practice for decades. They were there. They were there 2 days ahead. All these media people, they all knew full well. They all knew. Hey, George Bush! Now, compare and contrast that with the BP oil gush. In this case, the governor is saying, over here, help! President Obama goes to the camera and says, well, I can't go down there and sip it up with a straw. Imagine if President Bush had said that about the floodwaters. Can't go down there and sip it up with a straw. Next morning, off to the links for worst environmental disaster in U.S. history. Those are just 2 examples. I can give you dozens right off the top of my head of how they stack the deck against one party and in favor of the other. It's not about Republican or Democrat, Libertarian, Independent, Green Party, Tea Party. It's not about any of that. What it's about is the republic itself, the country. The minute they're lying heavily against one and for the other party in this 2-party system, this media constructed matrix, you know, NPR, New York Times. You can see why President Trump is telling them, go to hell, the hell out of here. People think that Donald Trump is being mean to the media and abusing First Amendment rights. In reality, they're abusing their First Amendment rights, and he's taking them out to the woodshed. It's about time somebody does. President George Walker Bush always treated them with respect, the Fourth Estate. And what did it get us? It got us Obama, Pelosi, and Reid. If Barack Obama were to walk into a school and say to a little boy, hey, potato is spelled with an E on the end, the media would have been like, oh, it was always with an E. What were we thinking to drop the E? They humped his leg all the way through as they felt chills going up their own. With Dan Quayle, lest we all forget, it was, the guy's an idiot, doesn't even know how to spell potato. They do this in the way that they do, and that people just go right along with it. Lemmings off a cliff. They didn't count on President Trump because he's letting them know, no, I'm not playing your games. See, President Trump would flat out say, the governor's in the way. George Bush, again, it was the exact opposite in terms of how he comported himself, and they still hated his guts. Not just the media, neither. All these people out here, they're full of hate. I hate Donald Trump. Donald Trump is full of hate. It's just stupid. I hope that you took in the point at hand here. Not just that the media is a bunch of liars, but that President Trump is calling them out for it. Perspective is paramount. See you tomorrow.